Obama. Let's welcome back my Fox colleague, former Alaska governor, former Republican vice presidential candidate, Sarah Palin. Governor Palin, always a pleasure. Welcome back to Freedom Watch.
Thank you. It's an honor to get to be here.
Governor Palin, I was so excited when I got up this morning and saw that you had stated over the weekend that you want Republican voters in Florida to rage against the machine. What did you mean when you said that?
Rage against that status quo. The status quo within the GOP establishment got us into the pickle that we're in with, of course, the cooperation of the machine on the other side of the aisle, too, where, you know, it's absolutely insane, our economic health in this nation and where we're headed. And I want voters to rise up and allow this vetting process to continue so we can start hearing even more ideas, articulated even clearer what the solutions are from these candidates and how we're going to get back on the right track. If, as the establishment would like, if we wrap this vetting process up and cut off the debate and cut off the voices of Ron Paul and Rick Santorum and Newt Gingrich, you know, assuming that Mitt Romney continues to be the front runner, if we cut off those voices at this point, it's unfair to the electorate because we still don't have enough answers as to how it is that we're going to come up against Barack Obama, contrast against his socialist ideas, the solutions that are needed to be articulated. We're only going to have that through an extended vetting process.
You, I think one could argue, began your political career by raging against the machine, the corrupt cronies that were running the Republican side of the aisle in Alaska when you were vying for government. And a lot of free market, small government, defenders of the Constitution, open and notorious libertarians came to your side. Question: who best is there to rage against the machine today? Newt Gingrich, who was once part of the machine, or Ron Paul, who has consistently opposed the establishment and its borrowing and its spending and its behavior outside the Constitution throughout his entire career?
Well, Newt Gingrich has a record of being able to prove that he raged against the machine in some respects, and that's why so many of those within the machine are so adamantly opposed to him, and they're trying to rewrite history and say that he didn't accomplish what he did accomplish, being part of the Reagan Revolution and balancing budgets and welfare reform and all those things that he was so engaged in. You know, a lot of the folks in that establishment are trying to pretend that that never happened. I respect that Newt has a record that proves that he is able to accomplish so many of the things that he's promising to accomplish now. But that, you know, is the multi-trillion-dollar question, Judge, is who is best to go up against Obama and contrast what it is that he stands for and what the GOP ticket stands for. And that, again, is why I'd like this process to continue.
Who presents a greater challenge to President Obama's ideas? Ron Paul, who wants to say no more borrowing by the federal government, no spending a nickel more than you take in revenue, sound money, money backed by gold, foreign policy that isn't adventuristic but gives us a sound defense. Isn't that what Republicans are looking for?
It is. What I'm trying to do in this race as, you know, just an outsider, just an observer, but a voter, you know, I do have my one vote. What I'm trying to do, Judge, is find out who has that ideal in where America should be economically, but also in a practical sense, who can win the GOP nomination? Who can go up against that establishment within the party? And it's not that it would be a wasted vote if I were to cast a vote for Ron Paul, but I want to make sure that my one vote really counts. And when you look at the numbers, when you do the math, you see that Romney and Newt Gingrich are the two front runners, and it appears today it's one or the other. Ron Paul and you and I can speak about all the benefits of what his candidacy does for this country and his great ideas and his record, and Rick Santorum's also. But I'm trying to be practical and not so naively idealistic that I would think that at this point that anybody but either Newt or Romney will be the nominee.
Governor Palin, a pleasure. Thanks very much for joining us. Keep taking on that machine.
Thank you. You too.